Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Popkait's Corner. If you saw this last week, we did not release an episode. TV's Dads is going at the end of the week, but this week is a very exciting time because we got the one and only Nicholas's internet gaming crush, DustlessPath.
How's it going, everybody?
Hi.
Welcome. Do you want to be the host?
That intro. That was a good.
Thank you.
Would you like to be the host this week?
Yeah. It's not actually my show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only reason I got you brought me on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
We wanted some star clout is what we needed. So
yeah,
you're I think you're a much more likable host than either of us have ever been.
Thank you.
I don't know about that.
And then, of course, we're going to be talking about video games this week. That's the only thing I didn't hit on, but it should have made sense with the intro, because, I mean, this is, the Destiny hunk right here.
Mm-hmm.
But now...
Are you talking about me, or are you talking about...
I was going to say, I was like, which one? Are we like...
You looked at me.
Well, I'm sorry, I looked at you, because I was waiting for your commentary.
Commentary on how handsome?
Yeah. How starstruck you get every time.
I just I get nervous looking at you in the face.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool, awesome.
You're making me blush.
I don't want you to blush. Please don't do that. It'll just get worse.
I don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here? What?
Yeah, I'm out.
Well, he's the host now, so.
All right. Well, welcome to another DustlessPath Talks Gaming's. No, I'm kidding.
He's like, we've already rebranded. New logo.
It's gotta be Popkait's Corner. It doesn't have to make any sense.
Oh. All right, so
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm excited.
If you're wondering why I have the yardstick, it's so whenever you have like an opinion or something, we can measure it up. So.
Oh, okay. That's
I like
cute.
it.
Yeah.
But you could just if we talked about internet waifus, you just buck us with it. That's what the.
Oh, okay, yeah, that also works.
Yeah.
I got both.
Okay. All right.
Oh, the unfortunate thing about games in 2021 is I feel like none are coming out, which I totally understand. But this went from being the most anticipated games of 2021 to being like
What
when they
games are
come
coming
out.
out?
Yeah.
It's like what games are actually coming out?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
Because they may say 2021, but then like 3 months before it was come out, it's like, nah, we pushed it back.
No,
Like,
there's
okay,
one
well.
game studio I can always count on, and it's super massive games because they've done their Man of Medan, or their, what do they call it? It's Dark Picture Trilogy, and they had Man of Medan come out in 2019. 2020, they had, what was that one called? Little Hope, which was way better than Man of Medan. And then this October, they're going to have their final one coming out. And I don't remember the title of it. I don't know how I feel about the concept, but I'm going to play it anyways. That's what we do every time, because I just love that studio.
What is the concept for this next one?
It's,
Justin, do you know what they are?
I actually have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
I was like, he looks like he doesn't know.
Yeah, I was like,
Have you played Until Dawn?
I have not. I don't even know what that game is. So I'm going to have to look it up.
Ooh, you're in for a treat.
Oh my god.
Sweet.
These are like some of my favorite games. So Until Dawn was like a little AAA title that came out, but
Just a little.
well, it was weird
Massively
because it was
blockbuster
only
game.
on PlayStation 5 or 4, and they only released a certain amount of copies. So it was like you had to go in there and get it. And I got like the last one from the GameStop in Norman whenever we were.
Nice.
I was like, I have to have this game. And then we played it for 2 days straight trying to beat it. And it's just like a really campy, over the top video game with all these B-list celebrities, I guess I would say B-list, but Rami Malek is in that one and he won an Oscar. So
Right. He did.
Hayden
Did he win before the game or after the game?
It was after the game.
No,
He was-
before.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, after
see.
the game he
Yeah.
won.
He was a nobody at that point.
Yeah, it was before Mr. Robot
was-
and everything. So
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Hayden Panettiere is also in it.
But it's it's like a campy horror game, or based on like a campy horror movie from like the early 90s or stuff like that, and like slasher flick type thing.
Yeah.
And then you play as each of the characters, and it's really fun if you have a lot of people, and like each person like picks a character, and then you basically have to keep that character alive every time that you play as them.
And since they've noticed
cool.
that that's how people play their games, they've
they leaned into
developed a party mode where basically it's like, all right, it's this person's turn, and you have to like pass the controller.
that.
But the goal
That's
is
actually kind of fun.
oh, absolutely. But you have to make the right choices to keep your characters alive.
Right.
Right.
And then the most fun part about it is in party mode and stuff like that, you can make decisions that get some of the other characters killed.
Yes, but you might not know it.
But you might not know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
I know
it's,
they'll love further down the road.
yeah, it's very
Jeez.
fun where you like, there's one part in The Man of Medan where you can like decide that you're going to axe this monster. And then turns out that monster, you were just having a hallucination and you killed your friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm
Nice.
very sorry. You can no longer play the game because I axed you in the face.
So essentially, it's you get a bunch of friends over and you find out who would be the first to die in a horror movie.
Exactly.
essentially.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
a-
absolutely.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got
It's like, who makes just the most asinine decisions?
And they always
Right.
they always get a pretty like interesting cast. They did a game in between this one and that one, and how they did it was compared to controllers, everyone did it on their phone, so
Mhm.
you controlled it with your
Oh,
phone
okay.
instead.
Mhm.
And that one had Katie Cassidy in it. She was the main character. And it had some other big people, but she's the only one I remember because you're really following her character.
Yeah,
in
that
it.
one was more of like a noir detective thing.
And it
though.
was super short.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
like at most was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
They I think
Gotcha.
they were just testing the party mode, and then they came out with this Dark Pictures trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And Man of Medan, I was really excited for the concept because it was like, oh, there's these people trying to enjoy a weekend together, and then they're on this ghost ship, and I was like, okay, and then it totally wasn't that, and it was super disappointing.
They usually have some big twist like halfway through. But
Yeah.
it's like, it's like a campy horror movie, so like the twist is kind of stupid.
Yeah, and I just wasn't into the twist of Man of Medan, but the twist of Little Hope was sad, and so like once you got through that game, I was just kind of like bummed.
Yeah.
So I'm like nervous, but I'm like, it's going to come out, and we're going to play it, and I will somewhat enjoy it. So I'm just excited to
What's
see.
the hook on this new one?
So this new one is like, it's a troupe that is going almost on like these cave expeditions,
Mm-hmm.
and it has Ashley Tisdale. That's like their big star that they're using this time, and
Okay.
she is trying. They like, I think the way that they do it is they're plunging into the cave. Think of like The Descent, and
Yeah.
her line gets cut, so then she's like stuck in this cave. The Descent was a horror movie that I didn't love, but it was
It was an interesting one. I
Yeah,
watched that movie.
it was
That's,
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's always a movie that you can kind of compare it to. Like it's taken from a
Mhm.
couple of the same little era of movies and stuff like that. So
I'm trying to think of his name,
Ooh.
but the guy who was in the hook for Little Hope was the guy from like was he in that Bandersnatch? Is that what it was called?
was he?
He was in We Meet the Millers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking he was in. He was the son in We Meet the Millers, or the fake son.
What's his name? Will Poulter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's he's a
Yeah.
goofy looking guy.
Yeah, he's
He is. Yeah.
he's the star of that one.
Mm-hmm.
But like I
Oh,
said,
okay.
that story's pretty sad, so I don't know. I really like them, and they're always like, we're gonna come out in August, and then they're like, just kidding, it's delayed till October every year. And I'm like, just release it in October. And
Which is fine because they want to come at around Halloween time.
yeah,
anyway, right?
makes the most
Yeah,
sense.
and it's I like that. I mean, I feel like horror games, they're nice when they come out, but I would prefer them like just that little section of the year.
Yes,
Yep.
It's
I
like,
want them
give
in
me just
October.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's really
Yeah.
only 2 times that a horror games can come out, and it's around Valentine's Day.
For some
and-
reason, yeah.
Yeah,
In October.
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Because I think
Well, I
that
think
they,
that's what they did with Outlast 2. They
Yeah.
like threw it out at just like a random time of the year, and like I mean that game was weird anyway, like a lot weirder than the first one. But it just was like, why would you put this out at this point in the year? Like no one wants to play it right now.
Yeah, like I never want
It's
to.
like
I never want a horror game in August. I just don't.
no,
That's
nobody's
not.
in
Yeah.
the mood for that.
Mm-mm.
I'm not feeling
Yeah.
spooky right
Mhm.
now.
yeah, no.
Yeah, right now
Well,
I'm
it's
trying to
like,
get my hot girl summer body going. And,
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
yeah, versus like getting cozy for winter. That's horror time. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when the wintertime you ain't got nothing else to do, it's like you sit and play horror games.
it's good spooky.
Absolutely. No, so I highly recommend Until Dawn. I just lent my sister it, and I was like, you have to give me this back. This is like a physical copy of it, and I have to. Not that
There's
it's like
probably
that.
like 100 people in
I
the
know.
world that have it. Yeah.
This AAA game that was released, and you can also download digitally now.
I know. I'm like, most people prefer to play it digitally, but I not too long ago, because Funhouse went back and replayed it because Elise also loves that game. I was like, it made me want to go back and replay it, and I did, and I actually saved all the characters this time, and I was like, yeah, I did it, which was
Awesome.
really hard.
I was gonna say, how hard is it to like save all the characters?
Okay, so
You cannot
Until
do it.
Dawn, it was hard because they
Uh.
used the motion controls of the PlayStation. So there was
Okay.
like 2 areas where you couldn't move at all. So you had to be prepared for those areas and like sit on a table or something.
Oh.
So it didn't move, because if you moved,
It was real sensitive.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, the first playthrough of it, like you wouldn't. There were times that you had to be anticipating what was going to happen, and there's no way you could have anticipated. So
Oh,
Gotcha.
and then the Man of Medan, the star of it, was Sean Ashmore, aka Iceman from the X-Men movies.
oh, cool.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
his cameo was dumb because he like the way that you played it, the game made it seem like he was going to be in it a lot. Like they put him in the trailer a lot. If you did not play it correctly, he died in the first 15 minutes. And I was like, that was part of the thing that killed it
Nice.
for me, because I was like, you see all these trailers of him on the ship, and I was like, oh, but it's like you have to play it correctly, and we didn't. So that
Well,
really sucked.
he was only available for VO for that one day.
Yeah, that makes yeah.
Yeah, they just had to do everything in the one day.
Yeah,
They're like,
so he's
man, I
like,
gotta go. It's too late.
Yeah, I'm
Gotta
sorry.
get-
I gave you 20 minutes.
He's like, do you know who I am?
Yeah,
Right.
I was in X2. Okay.
And X1 and X3. He
Yeah,
was
but
in all
everybody
3 of
knows
them.
me from my role in X2.
He was cool. No, so
Oh man.
that is one of my most anticipated games. Unfortunate, but I know that, like, I hope this one is good. I'm holding out for this one because the first 2 I thought were okay.
Well, I measured that 3/4 of a yard.
Wow. What a winner.
Congratulations.
I love it.
Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty good. You did good,
Thank you. Thank you.
Justin.
We're gonna have to we're gonna have to attempt to get a whole yard here.
I think we could do it.
Yeah.
Let's follow up. What game are you excited about?
Man, okay. All of them. No, the ones.
The ones that are coming out.
The ones that are eventually to come out at some point. No, I want to say, like, I really want to be excited for Halo Infinite, but I don't know. It's hard because we don't know anything about it.
No.
Yeah.
They've been keeping under tight lock. Like, there's
They
been
removed
some
co-op from the beginning.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for me.
I would rather co-op and Forge just come out in the beginning and like they just wait and release it again. If
Yeah,
I'm being
that's how I
honest.
feel.
Yeah, honestly, like I would have no problems with them like pushing it back. Like, if they can release multiplayer, like, go ahead and do that, because it seems like it's gonna be a standalone thing. It's free to play, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, if you have to wait to put co-op and Forge into the rest of it, you can just push it all back.
Yeah.
And like, and that's the thing, is they've had like a couple of things. There was like a Reddit post from a dev, anonymous or whatever, that they like put out and was like for some reason 343 is having a hard time with the campaign and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I feel like the multiplayer would be the hard part, but whatever. I guess.
I think I was reading that, and they were talking specifically about like how to do respawning for co-op, and like since it's an open world map, things like that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, just go look at Borderlands, because
Oh yeah.
they have co-op, and they usually it's reasonable.
Yeah.
It's not like the worst thing ever.
And they were talking about how they wanted the map to be like a Ubisoft open world game, like some of these other ones, like the Tom Clancy's like Wildlands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have felt about that.
Yeah.
They're like a little
And like,
they're too big and too empty almost. So
yeah. And I'm not really sure. And it's been overdone so many times, because they're like on Wildlands was like the 3rd or 4th one they've done, and they've made like 4 or 5 since then. So it's like, but
let's just do
we'll see, I guess.
Let's just do a Breath of the Wild style Halo.
Okay,
Master
that
Chief-
game,
honestly,
I love Breath of the
honestly,
Wild, but
yeah.
everyone's like, I want a Breath of the Wild Pokemon. I want to, and then they're like, Breath of the Wild 2 is not good.
You're gonna be getting that at some point, man.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm so
Oh,
excited.
I'm so
I'm
excited.
excited for that one.
I'm tired.
Did you guys? I'm assuming you guys saw the trailer for that, right? Recently.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
we
that's
already
gonna be-
everybody already
it's gonna be
spun
fun.
up the I'm frustrated with the graphics conversation.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna be
Game
honest.
Freak doesn't know how to make a good game.
I don't care. I really don't care. I know I'm gonna play it.
Yeah. And everybody, and that's the thing, those people that were complaining about it, they're gonna play it too.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna play it. Like
I
they're
know.
not gonna play it.
Well, I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna miss out on it, so I can post those
No,
sweet
absolutely not.
memes of how this tree looks like shit.
Right?
Look,
It's
man.
the same conversation they had with Sword and Shield when they saw the trees in that one. And it's like, these trees are terrible. I'm like, okay, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not here for the trees. I'm here for the game.
Well, you know, I'm actually here for the trees. Big tree lover here, and I just want trees
Gotcha,
represented.
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm actually an
Fair enough,
arborist,
fair enough.
and I've been an arborist for a long time, and I'm kind of getting tired of people just shortchanging these foliage in these fucking games.
I understand. I get it.
This leaf is a goddamn
they need
decal.
No, it just feels weird to me because it feels like they've kind of forgotten what Halo is.
A little bit. I think that they're trying really hard to do that balancing act between kind of like modern monetization strategies and all those season passes and making
Yeah.
sure that they have enough content for people to chase while also being
And
true to what Halo is, and that's like a hard
Right.
blend to mix. So I was thinking about
in the way
Reach.
they. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Halo Reach and how like the unlock strategy in that was like so tedious. Like it took forever.
Yeah.
But like there were still like colors and palettes and things like that, which is from the looks of it, from the demo at least, the colors are something that you'll have to unlock, which sucks.
Yeah.
So,
All like most of the palette, I think they give you a few like just off the bat, and then like the rest of it you got to unlock and stuff.
yeah.
I don't know that.
But they posted that there's not going to be in-game like end of game XP.
Mm-hmm.
You have to complete challenges throughout the game.
Yep.
Like so, like in multiplayer, like you're gonna have like I guess daily and weekly and whatever challenges, and the only way you get XP for unlocking stuff is completing those challenges.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's
And
weird.
people aren't super because that takes away from like, okay, we're playing capture the flag, but you're not doing anything capture the flag because you're trying to complete challenges. You're not actually helping the team out. It's
Yeah,
like,
my favorite
kind
little
of sucks.
bit that I've seen on that was like, we're capturing the flag, so I'm not going to play objective, so I can try and get my kill-tacular this week.
Oh, that's so
So,
disappointing.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's a weird
Which
choice.
I don't know how that's gonna work because because they say that, but then like early on they also said they're gonna keep the system kind of like how it is now in
Halo 5?
Master Chief Collection.
Oh yeah,
Well, no, yeah, like how it's like they have I think they're on like their fifth,
Yeah.
like game, like battle pass or whatever that is, but you can
the
go back
season
and
pass.
unlock the rest of them, you know. And so I don't know how it's gonna work. It's gonna be interesting.
yeah. It's
If
a little
you
weird.
want a good Halo game that you unfortunately can't play at home, what was that thing called?
Oh, the like the fire team thing that's in if you
Like
go to
Days
like
and
an
Busters
arcade or
something,
whatever.
or an arcade. That was actually really good. We both we went to a Dave and Buster's for I think my dad's birthday, and we each had just like $25 on our card, but we just kept doing it, and we went through the whole campaign. And I was like, this was actually really fun. And then we went home, bought the Master Chief Collection, and replayed Halo Reach. So
Right.
It was time.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
it was really
I didn't know
good.
they had those.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I played the Halo Infinite test flight, and the multiplayer was fun. It was all against bots.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw any of the memes or anything with the bots, but those bots were fucking hard. Like they played
saw
to win.
that.
They were nasty. They were but like the one thing that really shocked me is the hit or the bullet magnetism. They turned that down to basically 0. Like you had to be
Really?
a good shot to actually hit, and that was like, oh gosh, I'm a really bad shot. All of a sudden, all these years I thought I was good. Turns out the game was cheating for
Right.
me.
That's how I feel bad all the time. Like if I'll go from Destiny on controller and then put over Destiny on like mouse keyboard, and I'm like, good
Oh.
lord, I'm terrible.
Oh,
what happened to me?
I wish I could play Destiny on mouse and keyboard. I still play on my controller. It's just the
yeah.
only way.
Oh.
Yeah.
I play
Terrible.
it on mouse and keyboard, and
I
I've been
know.
trying really hard to get good, but as the Crucible scares me still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought maybe I thought maybe going and playing Tarkov for a long time like
Uh-huh.
would change would change my abilities. No, dude,
No.
it's terrible. I think it got worse actually, to
You
be
know-
honest with you.
You know what's funny? There's a game on Steam, and it's just called I think it's called first person shooter trials or something like that. And it's
Mhm.
literally like a bunch of game types where you just practice first person shooting mechanics. So it's like you can do
Maybe get
oh, like a swipe slot, or you can do this, and then it has built-in settings, so you can be like, yeah, I'm gonna practice for Destiny 2, so make sure that it uses the
Mhm.
same kind of control scheme
Huh.
as that.
cool.
And then it's like, yeah, so we're gonna have targets pop up, and you have to try and just shoot them as quickly as possible, and all this other stuff.
That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's for the pros, really. You know.
Yeah,
It's
the
like they do there
esports.
for their warm-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I gotta
Yeah,
warm up,
yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
gonna go load this up
Yeah,
real quick,
yeah.
and then do my finger exercises. So.
Speaking of
Yeah, I gotta
esports,
do my finger and wrist
Yeah.
exercises.
Mhm.
the,
Yeah.
Twitch.
speaking of esports, now that they've opened it up to Stardew Valley, I'm like, you know what? I could be a.
Are you thinking you could do it?
No, I think I'd be terrible. But
Wait, hold on. There's a Stardew Valley professional
Yes.
esports league
yeah,
now? Oh
what
my
did it
God.
was it
Mhm.
too? It was I think the top prize is 40,000, and I was like, it's not bad.
Wow.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's like I'm not gonna complain.
I was like, what? How are they competing? Do you know the rules?
Let's
Yeah,
see. Stardew
yeah.
Valley is officially an esport with an upcoming competitive prize pool worth 40,000. Let's see if I can.
Is it best farmer? Is it who's the friendliest in town?
Oh, it's a team game. We could definitely do this. Yeah.
Oh.
Stardew Valley Cup will pit 4 teams against each other: Sandy's Candies, Pierre's Cherries, Pam's Yams, and Corby's Crocuses.
I love
The
those
4
names.
teams will compete against one
Mm.
another in the Cup on September 4th, where they will compete for a shot at almost $40,000.
How did they get there? What did they do? What were the qualifying rounds?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to. Yeah, I didn't even know there was qualifying rounds. I was just like, wait, is this a thing? Can I get into this? But
Just
I'm
saying,
on.
where do we sign up at for
Yeah.
next year?
So they range from completing tasks in the community center to reaching 100 floors in the Skull Cavern.
Ooh.
They get 2-week period to view the challenge list and prepare their strategies accordingly. So it sounds like they have these 4 teams, they all get these tasks, and then they go and they're going to compete against each other and try to complete all of those things within the given time for top prize. So you have to really develop a strategy, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the strategy aspect of that, but I think we could do it, guys. I
Yeah.
think it's a doable esport.
I will say, last time I played Stardew Valley, I literally just spent all my time in the caves. So, yeah.
It's all I love
Oh
to
my
do.
god, is that me?
PvP, you know?
Somebody has to man the farm, okay?
Yeah, that's what
you
you're
can't
for.
just go in the cave.
I just want a cave. It's where you get the cool gear.
I'll tell you what, I was gonna say we'll get one other person. They can do everything else, and then we'll just stay in the caves. And try
Right. They have to load you
Yeah.
up before you go down into the
Yep.
caves. It's like, here you go.
Yep.
Here's
Here's
your
all of
ranch
our food.
burger, everything else.
Look,
Right.
you and Kyle get to farm, and Justin and I will mine the caves.
You guys, the strategy is simple, but it's precise, and it will work. Really
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll work perfectly.
well. I don't know.
It's good. I think it's the one esport that I could stand a chance.
Right.
I've seen the other ones, so I'm not interested.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think there would be. I don't think there's an esport that I could actually play that one.
Yeah. No, I've seen them compete.
At least that one is more of a
Right.
strategy thing. It's not all about twitch reflexes and being able to
Exactly.
see.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was curious about it. I was like, but then when I thought about it, I thought it was just a one-person thing, and I was like, I just don't have any interest in farming.
Now that it's team.
Yeah, now that it's team, I'm like, you can do all the farming.
Oh my god.
Right?
We're going to get t-shirts.
Oh,
What do
man.
you...
Ooh.
It's just-
Oh, yeah, we got to come up with our fun name.
Mhm.
Yeah, they can have a cool name.
Yeah.
What's the purple boxers? Can we call ourselves that?
Ooh, I love that.
The mayor's boxers.
Yeah.
That's what we're called, the Mirror's Boxers.
Oh man, what if it was just like you have to continue? That was one of the challenges. Fastest one to find the mayor's boxers or get the mayor's boxers.
Oh.
Yeah, because you have to become friends with what's her name, the lady that gives you the cows, right?
Yeah,
And then you
Mhm.
get into
to
her
her house. Grab
and
the boxers.
Grab the boxers.
Yeah. Go to
I
the
wonder.
mayor.
I
And then
wonder
you-
if these are like you have to start over and then you have to complete this challenge, or it's just like whoever completes that challenge first gets points, and so like it's sort of like the whole game is going and like people keep getting points as they like put in.
I have to imagine it's a clean slate, unless they're doing the skull. Because they said one of the things they said. Well, they
Stardew
said the
Valley takes
community
place
center.
over like 3 years basically.
Yeah.
So
Well, they said the challenges were like completing the community center and then doing this, getting 100 on the Skull Caverns. So
well, they ranged.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Back to games that are actually coming out.
what other games are we excited about? I think
Um,
I'm optimistic for Halo Infinite's multiplayer. I think it'll be fun. I want to
Yeah.
play a Halo game
Yeah.
again because I like Halo. So
I'm just worried about the
in
campaign.
yeah, that's the worrisome. And I think they'll be fine on the multiplayer because I mean I saw a bunch of the people playing it. I saw streams and stuff, and it looks
it was fun.
great.
Yeah.
I
It
feel
was
like,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel too like even with like the abilities, like the couple abilities they showed off, and then like the grappling and stuff like that. It honestly,
Since
it
the
didn't feel not like Halo.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
You
the
know?
grappling was a pickup. It made it
Yeah,
a little bit more accessible and things like that. The one
Mhm.
thing is the game feels really like slow. Like it's a much more like methodical shooter, and that's sort of like Halo's thing anyway. But
Yeah.
after going from games like Destiny or any of the like really fast time to kill games like Rainbow Six, that can feel really weird. Going
Mhm.
back to a game with such a long time to kill and the characters honestly move really slowly. But no, I'm optimistic for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, where does that measure on the yardstick?
On the yardstick, I'm gonna give it a 5/8. That's 5/8 of a yard.
Wow.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, right
I like
there.
that one.
Yeah, it's going
Yeah.
on. Did you write your own numbers down underneath? Sorry, I just saw that. Or is that already on there?
That's already on there. I just
Okay.
thought that was neat
That is neat.
that they
That's
have.
neat. Yeah, I
they're
like that.
Oh, do you need just 1/8 of a yard? That's where it is.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dandy. Well, the one of the games that I was really, really excited for, and I was hoping it was going to come out either in October or late fall, early winter, and that was Oxenfree 2, but it got pushed back to 2021. But that's one of my all-time favorite games. When we first moved to Colorado, we were looking for games and I found it and we played it twice in one night because it's another one that you can get multiple endings, and I was like, I want the best ending. So as soon as we beat it the first time, I went back and replayed it to get the best ending. And I'm so excited with what they're going to do with this sequel, and I'm also curious because the way that they end the first one would make a pretty big overhaul change to how her life would continue to go on. And I'm curious how the sequel is going to play with that.
So is it going to be sort of the same mechanics? Because Oxenfree is sort of this like time traveling conversation game.
It looks like it. It looks great. It looks like it's going to have that same super creepy atmosphere. I think she goes back to the island for some reason. She has to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it really her brother?
no, I don't think it's that. We might find that out. But that's what I mean by the consequences of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Is I wonder how they're going to play those in. But she is called back to the island. So far, it looks like it might just be her, but I feel like they have to have everyone come back with her. But there's like this creepy cult thing that she almost has to deal with. And I'm really excited to see how that kind of plays out. I really love Oxenfree, so when they said they were doing a sequel, I was like, oh my god! Especially because I didn't really like, what did they call that drinking game that they did?
Oh, After Party.
After Party. I was really disappointed in After Party. I really didn't like it very much.
It was a little too slow.
It
and
was
too much
very
talking.
slow. It was too much talking.
Yeah.
The way that you walked in the game was so slow. The humor was great, but it just sometimes it was like, get to the point.
Yeah. And a lot of it, like, it didn't feel like your choices mattered as much. And then there was this, the fun little drinking mechanic.
Yeah.
So, like, you could drink different types of alcohol, which would give you different types of, like, dialogue options.
Yeah.
So like if you were drinking a drink that was like made you a sassy drunk, you suddenly had sassy options, which would give you like it'd open up different dialogue trees depending on what you were drinking. Which was a cool mechanic. It was just also like,
That's kind of cool.
well, shoot, I should have got the thing that gave me courage because now I need to be brave.
Yeah, like there was a
Right,
lot of
yeah.
so that one but I'm very excited for this one, and I think the pacing that they'll have on it, if they keep it with the original Oxenfree, it will be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my endorsement. Thank you.
That's your endorsement?
Yeah.
You want to give it a yardstick rating? What are you thinking?
A full yard.
A full yard?
I did it. Yeah.
Hey. I was like, how do I show this on camera?
Did you play the first one, Justin?
I did not. I knew when it came out and I saw it. I just didn't really think about getting it or playing it or anything. But you got a full yard on that one. I may have to go play it.
Don't sleep on it.
Absolutely. Usually it's super cheap. It's usually around $4.99 on the Nintendo Switch or even on Steam.
Yeah.
But it's a great game for the Nintendo Switch as well.
I'll have to go check it.
All right. Because I'm just a commentator, I'm going to look at Justin until he comes up with another game.
He has them.
I was looking through the list, honestly, and they've like a lawn mowing simulator came out on the 10th of August, and I'm like, how did I miss that one?
I love that. You're like, how did I miss that
need
one?
To like.
I'm
gonna need to go buy that one.
Really excited for the esport version of that game.
Yeah. That one it'd be interesting. You have to like they put you on like a baseball field. You know how precise those are. So like you gotta do it exactly how they want you to do it.
You can't fuck it up. Otherwise, the Marlins can't play this weekend.
Right? They can't. Like you messed up the tail of the fish. You got to do it again.
What else is coming out?
Let's see.
Let me pull up a list.
Well, I'll tell you what game is coming out. AAA title. They still haven't. They said it's supposed to come out in 2021, but they have not released like any extra information on it, and that is Gotham Knights.
Oh yeah,
you were really excited about that.
I was really excited about that because I love the Batman Arkham series. I love all three of those. This one I was super pumped about because you get to play as Batgirl, who is like one of my all-time favorite characters. But they were also totally doing the Bat Family / Court of Owls storyline, and that's one of my like favorite comic storylines. So I was really excited to see how they were going to play that out.
Yeah, I wish they give us some more information on that one because that's what they announced at E3.
Last year.
Yeah,
it was a very cool looking game.
Or they announced it at the WB fan event that they did.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
And I thought they originally said it was supposed to come out in February of this year, so I was like, oh yeah. And then February rolled around and they were like, it's still coming out in 2021. And I was like, is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We promise. We just weren't going to talk about it anymore.
But it's been like dead silent. I haven't heard anything more on it. So I've been a little nervous because I feel like that's
if it's funny you say that game because I remember now I was reading an article about they were gonna do like an open world Power Rangers style game.
Yeah.
What?
But like it was like in the style of like the Batman Arkham series and stuff like that. And I was like, but it got canceled. I was like, why would they cancel that? That would be so cool. Like why would that be?
That's literally everybody's idea of a best game.
Yeah, especially if they did it around kind of like the original Power Rangers, your team of 5.
You could Zord up too.
They had. That's the thing is there was official art and everything, and it had the big Zords and stuff, and I was like, dude, that's legit. That's cool. And then
I'm on board.
I was we need to figure out who wants to make that, and we'll put a.
Yeah,
we'll make it.
Here's some money.
I just want somebody to control the left leg of the Zord. Hot Wheels Unleashed is coming out.
I didn't even know Hot Wheels was still making games. Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Unleashed is coming out, and it looks like a Hot Wheels game.
To like a racing game, like a destruction derby game.
It looks like it's a racing game. Looks like you can make your own tracks and everything using that classic orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin, you finally played Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Yes.
What did you think about it?
It was fantastic. I enjoyed it.
You ready for?
It's just such a pretty game. Like I didn't get to play it on like when it came on PlayStation, but like I knew it was pretty then, and then I played it on PC, and I'm like, holy crap, this game is just like it's gorgeous.
So
and then,
gorgeous.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited for what's the name of it? Like the under name of it. It's like I know it's Horizon Zero Dawn, but like what's the
Horizon Zero Dawn Rise Again.
Oh, Forbidden West.
There you go.
Forbidden West. There it is. I knew it was West something, but I was like, oh.
I was just I brought it because it got pushed back too, and I was like, oh, yeah, I get it. And I'm sad.
All the good games are getting pushed back, man.
They really now the one that hasn't been pushed back yet, but we don't own a next gen console yet. Were you able to get your hands on any of the next gen consoles?
I do, yeah. I have, I got the Xbox
Series X.
The X, Series X. Yeah, I got the big one.
This guy.
I have a friend that worked at Target, and he bought 2, and I just bought one off of him. So
that was a good deal.
It was some noble scalping.
Kenna and the Bridge Spirits. That's what it's coming out on the PlayStation 5, and
I just saw the trailer for that
so cute.
earlier. Yeah, it looks so cool looking. It's very the guy it was like an IGN trailer for it or something like that, and the guy said it was like looks like a Pixar movie, and I was like, it does look like a Pixar movie. Like,
yes.
It's like it's insane.
I'm so pumped for it, but I'm so sad because it's only on the PlayStation 5, and even trying to get your hands on a PlayStation 5 feels impossible.
It's you're better going and like trying to play the lottery probably at this point.
Right? Right? That's exactly how
And then if I win, I could go ahead and buy a PlayStation 5 from any scalper.
Yeah, from a scalper. They finally finally get the money.
I'm not gonna try for a PlayStation. I'm just gonna go play the lottery. When I win, because I have better odds, I'll just go buy one from a scalper for $2,000.
Love it.
It's no big deal.
Perfect plan.
Gosh.
But Tunic, the little fox Legend of Zelda indie game, it's also supposed to finally come out this year, and I am so pumped for it.
I'm not hopeful.
You're not hopeful. You don't believe. But it's released by, the publisher is Finji, and I love a lot of their games. They just released Chicory this year, which we have and we need to play, but we still haven't yet. But this one's also supposed to come out, and I'm like, 2 games from Finji this year? That's a win. That's a great win for me.
Yeah.
What about George R.R. Martin's Elden Ring?
Are you
guys excited about that at all?
I'm not personally.
I don't know. I honestly haven't seen much about that or read on it. I just heard that he was helping write a game.
Yeah, so it looks like it reminds me of a knockoff of an Elder Scrolls game, and the fact that it calls itself Elden Ring, which is like close to Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, no, that's how I was kind of like everyone. All the like game critics are like, yeah, Elden Ring, so pumped for it. And then like they released more stuff at E3 this year, and I was kind of disappointed when people talk about graphics and everything. I was like, this game looks like it came out
it's made by From Software.
I know. I don't.
Which is it's weird that like it didn't hit well with you with From Software, because I feel like they do really well.
Yeah. I just was kind of disappointed. I'm sure it will be fine, but I feel like AAA since Cyberpunk have kind of struggled, which is why a lot of them keep pushing back.
Yeah, well, they don't want to be the next Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
they don't. No one wants to be the next Cyberpunk, which dude, I can't explain how disappointed I am in that game. Which
did you play it?
I did. I played it. I played it 3 times. I played the whole there's 3 different life options that you can pick.
Yeah,
I played through on all 3 life options, and like I think I've gotten all of the endings.
I thought you were gonna say I think I had fun.
Yeah.
No, like this thing is the game is beautiful. It does have some cool, like there's a ton of cool like shit in it. Like it's just the sense of cyberpunk in the future. All of this stuff like this is just it's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It just doesn't feel as good as what they told us it was going to be.
Right.
You know? Like,
I mean, you had a game get hyped up for 11 years or whatever it was. Like, I don't think you can release that game and be like meet expectations.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't hype something up that long and then and then just put out what you did. Because I mean, they've already came out, and the devs already came out and said that the game's done. Like they're done, like working. Like I guess now they're just improving it and making sure the bugs quit happening. But like, They
Really?
put out a new one, and now it's like all the cars just explode now when you like call them in. It's really weird. I don't know what it is,
Huh.
but
I was
like
gonna
every patch they put in makes more issues.
ask, would you have rather them continue to push it back and deliver a more full and complete experience, or were you were you fine with them putting
Actually
it out when
releasing
they
it.
did because they kept delaying it for so long?
They probably I don't they probably could have kept pushing it back, and it would have been like I don't know if we ever would have got the hype game that
Yeah.
they told us it was going to be.
Yeah.
They could have pushed it back for another couple of years, and it probably would have never gotten to that point. I don't
Yeah.
feel like.
No. I mean, it sounds like they were just
So,
like it was in development hell for such a long time and went through so many
Mhm.
iterations that
Yeah.
it just had the crust of all of the old decisions that they made on it.
That's what's
Yeah.
hard about it. Well, it was just weird because they really had that perfect hype blend when it came out, when they unveiled stuff in 2018. And they
Mhm.
had like a demo and everything. And I feel like
Mhm.
it had the curse that a lot of games do, is the demo was really successful and people were excited, and they went back to the drawing board and they were like, well, we just don't like this one part. And that just led
Mhm.
to this like tumblefall of them constantly changing things
Mhm.
instead of just sometimes I feel like they don't have enough willpower to look back and be like, this is good and people are gonna like this. They think they have to go like the next level, and I think when you
Mhm.
continue to do that, it just kind of messes up the overall experience.
I mean, the thing of it is, like,
Yeah.
it's important to remember the most popular game ever is Minecraft.
yeah,
Eh,
True.
And,
yeah,
like-
literally.
and like that game, literally, you fill in all of the blanks with your imagination.
Yeah.
So like, it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that like, if they focus on making it playable as fuck, like
absolutely.
if the characters and driving and all that just feels fun,
Mhm.
the story doesn't have to be great, and people will
Yeah.
still really like it. Just because it's an entertaining game.
But that's the thing is like played a game recently that was like that. Like the story is meh, it's not great, but like the mechanics are perfect. The
Mhm.
game actually looks kind of pretty. Like it's just the small technical things are great.
Mhm.
So I don't
Mhm.
really care too much that the story is bad, but like, because the game's fun in the end of the day.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and that's that yeah, that game just kind of is just disappointment. It's unfortunate.
I mean, you still got
They
your
can
money
go
out of
from-
it and everything. You
Yeah,
played
oh,
through
yeah,
all
no,
three
absolutely.
of it.
I
and
mean,
stuff like
I've
that, so.
I've over 200 hours into it, so I absolutely got my $65 worth of it. But it's like, going from playing Witcher 3,
Yeah.
Which is a very
and
polished
playing,
game, yeah.
yeah, and like, and that's the thing. Even Witcher 3 had like its release hell. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it came out and
Oh,
had a bunch
yeah.
of issues, and they fixed it, and now it's what it is now, and it's a standard for them. Or it should be at least, it should be the bar. That's the bar they set, especially with that last DLC,
Oh, that
like,
was crazy. So,
yeah. So it's, seeing that they Witcher was up here and then, here comes Cyberpunk and it's way not even close.
it's like, here I come!
Did they say that they were making a Witcher 4 next? That's like the game that they're focused on?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
that's
they're
what
gonna. I don't. Yeah, they said something about it. Like they'll be working on a new Witcher game. So hopefully,
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe I'll play
I'm
it.
scared now.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe I'll play it whenever the hype is up for Witcher, and I'll
Right,
enjoy it more.
yeah.
Part of my problem with The Witcher is just how in depth that game is.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
the fact that you have to prepare for like fights and stuff like that, and you just roll up on things.
Well, it feels like we don't have time anymore. And that also it feels sad to say because
Mhm.
like we poured so much time into Destiny, but I think sometimes Destiny's just fun because you don't have to think about it a lot.
You just roll into it.
You just roll into it and you complete
Yeah,
what you want to
yeah.
complete. But a lot of triple
And,
game, yeah. You finally played and beat God of War, and that game came out forever ago.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But that's another AAA game that I think the sequel will be exciting, but I'm also worried about a lot of hype around it. I feel like AAA games have been really disappointing lately, so I've had a hard time getting excited
kinda
for
have.
them.
Well, I think that like.
It's-
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I honestly, you say like since Cyberpunk failure, but honestly, I think it's been since Anthem failure.
Oh yeah, that
'Cause,
game was
Anthem
terrible.
Anthem was supposed to be the Destiny killer,
Yeah.
And
and
it did
well,
not.
and it did not at all. It actually killed itself, unfortunately. Like it just was not, it just. I honestly like, man, yeah, it's been because since then I feel like AAA games have just not been
Yeah.
up to standard.
Well,
you
I
know?
think there's two things going on. Like AAA games are so dang expensive to make now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And some dude in his basement can make a game that's really good, that's up to the standards of a AAA game like 10 years ago by himself. And so you're competing against somebody that's doing that. But the other
Yeah.
half of it is that AAA games are not taking any risks
No.
at all because of that price point and because of that competition. So those two things, like, it means that we kind of get stale, and like every time that there's a new Assassin's Creed game or something like that, it's like, oh well, let's do a Norse one because that God of War game did Norse, and like that was really popular, right? So we'll just do, you know, Assassin's Creed, the same sort of stuff, but we'll add that, and then we'll add a bunch of these like, you know, kind of free to play mechanics that everybody likes now. We'll just throw it in there.
Yeah, they're
there's
trying
not-
really hard. It's like, here's your $70 price tag, and then
Mhm.
here's like your DLC that you have to continue to do so you
Right.
can get your full money's worth of the game, but it's also like $40.
Yeah, but you know, like
Yeah.
that is an incredibly expensive game, and it's a huge game, and they're putting so
Yeah.
much stuff into it because people don't want to pay $65 for a game anyway. Even though that's a crazy low price point for like 200 hours worth of gameplay.
I thought you were going to bring
Right.
up about consoles and how, like, I feel what happened with a lot of these games, and that's part of the reason
Oh,
they've
yeah.
been delayed, is because these new companies really wanted to, not new companies, these companies really wanted to release a new console, and I feel like that's had to shift a lot of development. So then it's like, here's the next top tier graphics and style, and you really want to make it pop. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima really, I think, pushed the boundaries of this last console, and they
Mhm.
just recently released the updated version for the new
director's cut?
consoles. Yeah. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's even more phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
And they added more stuff to it.
Yeah,
for
they
free,
did.
Too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just-
which
Yeah.
I thought was super cool, and I'm excited to see more of what they're going to develop, because I do think that game was good, and
It
I
was
think
so
that
pretty
they
game.
yeah.
No, I watched a lot of people stream it, and I hate not having both consoles. Like I only have an Xbox.
I
and,
know.
because like I want to play some of these games so
Yes.
bad, and that's why I hate console and platform exclusivity. 'Cause
Me
it's just
too.
it's terrible.
It's
I
so
really,
bad.
really was hopeful that we were gonna evolve beyond consoles, and that we were really just gonna
Yeah.
basically just start getting like PCs, and like the way that they were gonna compete with each other still is like Sony would make its gaming PC and Microsoft would
Yep.
make its gaming PC, and then everything would just be on the same thing. But
It
no,
didn't go
there's
that
too much
way.
money to be made, and being like, yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
play God of War, you kind of
Well,
really need
it's
to get a
weird because it
PS5.
feels like Xbox kind of did that, and like they released their new console, but they've been pretty
Mhm.
upfront that what they're really trying to do is build up Games Pass, which I think Games Pass is brilliant.
Yeah.
The way
Well,
that they've
the
released,
fact
yeah,
that it's like it's $14 a month.
yeah,
Well, and
If
it's
you
like,
do the
well,
double.
Actually, if you do like the
just
big
PC.
pass or whatever, yeah.
Mhm.
So like there's the $14 a month or whatever for that. It gives you Xbox Live.
Mhm.
It gives you Game Pass,
Yep.
which
Mhm.
has over 100 free games on it. Then you have the Windows 10 version of those games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then there's like 40 or 50 of those games that you can play that are Xbox games that you can play on PC.
Yep.
And it's insane. Like it's crazy.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
really good
that
deal.
that you're able to do that. Yeah.
And we've
And
already
they
done.
released
Yeah.
the where you can play on your phone too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like you
really?
can play Xbox
Mhm.
Pass games on your phone. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's
certain
what I
ones.
was like. We already have. We played Medium at the beginning of the year when they released it. Then we haven't got to play him yet, but they already have 12 Minutes, which was one of the games I was most excited about this year. We just haven't had time. And then they also released Psychonauts 2 just this week. And those were like 3 of the biggest titles that were being pushed out this year.
Yeah, and I think moving to games as a service is both a really cool thing and like a scary thing too, but
Well,
Mm.
it's cool in the sense of like Hades was one of the biggest games of the year last
Yeah.
year. And Super Giant in itself is phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
I love all of their games, but they just put it on Games Pass, and now people who haven't played it are finally playing it on Games Pass.
Oh yeah, I think that's the beauty of it, is being able to just play like a shitload of games is so
Mhm.
cool. And I
Yeah.
love that because I've been wanting to play Undertale, and for some reason I just always been like, meh, I'm not gonna buy it. But it came on Games Pass, so I was like, I'm getting Undertale. I'm playing
Go
Undertale.
play it, right?
So,
Exactly.
But it,
Yeah.
you know, like not owning any of your games also kind of sucks because like as soon as you end that service or whatever, we're not gonna have people being like, yeah, I got my Mario Kart 64 here, and I'm gonna go ahead and boot up the old N64.
Well, for me, I'm like, if I
Right.
really love a game, I've already proven it.
I know.
Transistor came out forever ago, and when that one company, I forgot what they're called, but they do, it's called like limited something.
Mm-hmm.
They do
Mhm.
special console releases, actual physical. I went and bought Transistor for the Nintendo Switch physically because I just love that game. And I own it on PC, I own it on the PlayStation 4, and I own it on Nintendo Switch. I have that game on every console because it's my favorite video game. I just love it that much.
Nice.
So I don't know. If I love a
They
game,
support you.
I like it because it
Yeah.
lets me play games that I might not play. But if I love a game, I'm gonna go buy it everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
With the death
Yeah.
of video game rentals, this is like a excellent replacement because Blockbuster back in the
Mhm.
day had a similar deal. It was like $14 a month, and you could rent like 2 games every month, and it was awesome.
And then GameFly was super big.
and then
for a little
GameFly was
bit.
kind of the same deal.
Yeah. Like you're talking about owning like different games on consoles, and I was like actually just looking through the games that are coming out, and they're putting GTA 5 getting an updated one for the new consoles and stuff, and I'm like, dude,
time.
that's this.
That game's never gonna die.
No,
No, it's just like Skyrim. Because
Yeah.
Skyrim just came out what?
Oh,
The 25th
another-
anniversary, or not 25th anniversary, the whatever anniversary edition of it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's on the new consoles.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
gosh dang it.
and
man.
it's still
Like,
they still
that's
haven't really
crazy.
updated the way that it looks.
But people
It's
don't
a-
care. Sometimes
yeah,
you just
it's
love a game so
well-
much that you're like, I don't care if it looks like it came out in 2010. It's still my all-time favorite game, and I'm gonna play it.
I really need to get into
Mhm.
Skyrim modding so that I can play all of the
Yeah.
new modded kits and things and
Yes.
stories that people have made because that's where the game is at.
Yeah,
That's why
that's,
people-
that's like the end game, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you beat Skyrim, and then you go and get all the mods for all those extra stories. and,
Right.
Like, that's the
That's it, man.
That's the end game right there. Yeah, that's because there's a mod to like, I don't know if this updated one, the anniversary edition or not, will change that, but like I think Skyrim could only go to 60 frames on PC,
Oh.
and then someone modded it to get it higher. So
Wow.
like everyone plays on the modded version of it, so they can have more than 60.
Did
frames.
they? So I saw this thing that part of the reason that it's like locked at 60 frames is the gravity or the physics step is tied to the frame rate.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if you play it like 144 frames per second, things will fall fast as fuck.
Okay,
Dude,
so
it's that game is so weird. Like
Mm.
how they built that.
I know.
It's
It's like
It is.
it's an old engine from like
Mm.
80 years ago.
80 years.
Yeah, they
wow.
wrote it on Fortran. You don't know what that language is, but that's what they wrote it on.
So speaking of that, since they're like they have teased the next Elder Scrolls, when do you think it will come out? Since they just keep pushing Skyrim and the new additions for it and
Oh
getting it
my
on
God.
I'm not convinced it's not just going to be Skyrim.
Skyrim 2.
Skyrim 2.
It's Skyrim 2.
It actually runs at 120 hertz because they're saying that all the new consoles can do that, and all the gravity's fixed.
Yeah.
It's on. It's
It's
beautiful now.
Uh, it's like you get it and you pay like $100 for it. It's like, wait, this is just Skyrim. Like,
Which is the thing where you wake up.
it's like, oh, you're awake. I'm like, what? No.
I was like, shoot, what is happening?
Oh my god.
And then once you get done, like, you know how they did the DLC sometimes where they just have like a messenger come up to you and be like, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
good sir, there's a message, a request for you. And then that's how it's going to do. So like you'll get out of that. You just fought the dragon, got out. You're, whew, that was fun. Okay. And dude turns out, you want to go to the Summer Isles.
It's not even like a couple of minutes after you fight the dragon and kill it. It's like as soon as the dragon dies, he just walks through the burning body away. He's
Yeah.
like, here, we did this.
We did this? No, you're like, you know, when you lay
How did
down,
you get up here?
you lay down and he's about to cut your head off. You see him walk up to you and interrupt that whole cutscene.
Would you be
God.
mad about it? It's like, it's like, oh, Skyrim's so good. Okay, whatever. Here's more of my stupid money.
Yeah. See,
yeah.
I've only bought it once actually.
That's
Same.
two.
I only own it on
Xbox 360.
Xbox One.
Yeah,
so.
Xbox One. Yeah, that's also what we
Yeah.
haven't bought it again since that. But I know a lot of people that do. They buy like every
Mhm.
I don't know. The thing that I think is interesting about AAA titles or studios is I feel like they're trying to do the thing now where they're trying to get more into the indie game scene. Because there's like the developer who made No Man's Sky, and they've made one of my all-time favorite games with The Last Campfire.
Yeah.
And it's more as like, here's a contained 6 to 10 hour experience. And I'm into that. I'm like, if more game studios want to do that, I feel like I can dedicate 6 to 10 hours compared to 30 to 40 hours.
Well,
if not
Hello
more.
Games is.
I guess
mean,
they're not.
like they're
It just
tiny,
it felt like
or they were tiny.
Yeah.
it felt like No Man's Sky was supposed to be such this big release, and then it kind of flopped. But then they've come back, and some people swear that it's like
And like
They made it good.
I think say now it's like probably like I mean so like there's a streamer I follow that he was just super hyped about this game when it first came out, and then he was so disappointed in it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll refund him my money. I hate it. Like I'll never buy another game from them. But like he's played it since then, and he's like, he honestly now he's like that's my bad. He's like, I called it bad early on, and he's like, they turned it around, and he's like, I think this is probably one of the best games ever
yeah.
at this point, and
Yeah.
it's incredible. Like they've done so much for that game.
Well, that's what I because like I promise you, The Last Campfire is one of the most intimate, sweetest game experiences I've played in a long time.
And it couldn't be any more polar opposite from No Man's
Oh,
Sky.
so completely opposite.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so shocking because I feel like a lot of indie games, they have kind of like this trope in how they do stuff. This one was so well constructed, and I would love to see more studios try to build these intimate experiences like this. And that's where I get a little nervous with titles. They're like, we were big for Psychonauts, so here's Psychonauts 2, or we were big for Oxenfree, so here's Oxenfree 2. I'm nervous because you're like, oh, those games were such classics. But these studios seem to know what they're doing. I am nervous about Hollow Knight too. Just because I don't know. Well, they were supposed to unveil the next trailer for it, or the trailer finally for
But
it.
Team Red Cherry's not going to do me dirty.
I know, but they apparently it got removed because it was super buggy, and I was like, that seems weird.
Well, when Hollow Knight first released, it was super buggy.
Oh, was it?
So their game came out in 2015, and then it didn't really get popular until 2017.
That's
like
true.
2 years after it came out.
That's true.
They had they had a pretty good first initial release, but then 2 years later, that game, they dropped all of their DLC for free, and people just flocked to it. So
That game's also really good, but it's another one that I'm for some reason I'm just so nervous about it, and I know it's going to be great. Like I know Oxenfree 2 is going to be great. I've already
say
heard
that now.
amazing things about Psychonauts 2. And I'm sure Hollow Knight will be the same because Hollow
when
Knight.
does Silk Song come out?
So they haven't released a date. They were supposed to like finally start giving more information at this latest Nintendo, and apparently got removed because it was just super buggy. So they just didn't want to show it.
I get that.
So
I played the first Hollow Knight. It was kind of too slow for me.
Really?
It was weird. Like, yeah, like and this is probably people thinking, or whoever's gonna watch this probably like, this guy's an idiot. But like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I went through it and I played like 10-ish hours of it, a little over maybe, and I couldn't ever like, I don't know, just felt too slow for me.
did you like Ori and the Blind Forest?
I did. That's the
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
I loved Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ori and the Blind
and I
Forest
was
is
like,
faster though.
Oh, okay.
A lot faster.
Yeah.
Than
It just
Hollow
gives me
Knight.
same
Yeah.
vibes. That's
They
fun.
are similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. In the sense of like a platformer kind of thing, like
Mm.
side-scrolling platformer type thing. Like it's, and that's what I thought. Like I played Ori, and then I heard about Hollow Knight, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I saw the art and stuff. I was like, that looks like a fun game. Bought it, went and played it, and like yeah, I was like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
So I'll say this: Hollow Knight has a tipping point where the game is very slow to introduce new mechanics and things like that because the game's so damn big.
For an indie game, that game
yeah,
is huge.
It's huge. And so there's a certain point where you have where you've gotten after the Mantis Claws and the double jump and the shadow dash, where it's sort of like about middle of the line with the game, that I feel like the game picks up in pace and speed quite a lot. But Ori from the get-go with that awesome stop time and then shoot off of things mechanic.
Yeah.
Like that just keeps the game very kinetic and energetic from the get-go. And Hollow Knight does not have that. But once you get all of your different power-ups, they start really investing in hey, we're going to throw you through a gauntlet where you have to learn and do all the things that you were good at. And you
Okay.
have to like blade jump off of these spinning things. So
Well, I just always
Nice.
go to the one
Nice.
mission where it's like entering the lady's dreams, and she's like has that super hunked up one, and you have to fight it. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
there's
Part
there's
is
cute
super cute.
little humor and things like that. Yeah, you get the dream nail at a certain point in the game,
Yeah.
and there's this
Okay.
knight called Zote, and he's not very strong, and like you beat him in the real world just by hitting him one time.
But this
But-
girl's like has
this-
this dream version of him in her mind, so you
Yeah.
have to like go
Yeah.
into the mine and then fight the Zote version that she has.
And he's just like he takes
He's
off
like-
his cloak. And
yeah, and
he's
he's like
huge.
super hunked up. Oh, it was
Nice.
very funny.
So
I may have to give it another shot then. Like if it, yeah, I mean maybe I just didn't hit that point, but like yeah, I may give it another shot for
Well,
a second.
if you're really into it, like do a lore deep dive too, because the lore
Yeah.
of the game is super fun and interesting, and like you might just get
Yeah.
hooked because you're like, whoa, what?
I will give it. It's hard to
Fair.
be like I've poured 10 hours into this game and it's still going so slow. I totally get that
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
it's hard to get.
it was one of my favorite games, and I've poured like I think like 80 hours into it or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's-
so.
nice.
It's for an indie game, like $25, and you're already like so far in. That's not too shabby.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something I was gonna ask though. I had a question. Oh, did you play Will of the Wisp? Was it good?
I actually did not get to play that one yet.
Okay.
I need to though, because
It's on Game
I think it's
Pass.
on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to. I need to grab it and play it because I played through Ori and the Blind Forest. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that game. And yeah,
How
I think I need to
sweaty
play
do you
second one.
get when you're doing the escape sequences in Ori and the Blind Forest?
Like my first play, like because I kind of played through it a couple of times, but like yeah, that first playthrough, like oh my god, like I used to get super frustrated with like platformers. Like I played
Mhm.
Rayman.
Oh,
And, like you
yeah.
guys remember like those platforming, like those runaway things with Rayman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like throw a controller mad.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
like just like
absolutely.
punch the wall. And like I had not felt that type of rage in a long time until I played Ori, and then I was like, man, this is so frustrating.
the
And it was
very
like, I would
first-
like
Ugh.
I would have to like put my controller down and like get a towel and like
Yeah,
my
wipe
hands were so
off.
sweaty.
The only
to get it
game
again.
that's made me that angry in a long time is Overcooked 2. That game just
Oh,
pisses
yeah.
me off. I can't play it because I just get so angry.
It doesn't help that I'm very
Yeah.
calm and cool and collected.
I
And I'm
know.
like, Caitlin, can you just go cut the tomatoes, please? I'm gonna need some tomatoes. She's like, what the fuck you need tomatoes for?
Yeah, I was like, I'm already cooking, so I don't know why.
I'm making burgers over here. You
It
cut the
makes-
goddamn
It makes
tomatoes.
me so angry. I think it's because I always like accidentally like throw something and I don't mean to,
Oh, yeah.
and then I have to start over. And
Yeah.
it makes me so impossibly angry. And I've never wanted to break a controller before, but that game it's so close to destroying my Switch.
All right. Like you guys probably wouldn't like playing with me because I always do the little dash a lot around the thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm always like smacking people out of the way. Trying to do stuff.
Especially on the ones with the conveyor belts, and it's like a
Yeah.
one-way thing. You're like, the fuck are you doing?
Oh, he would be fine, but I'd be like, Justin, our friendship's over.
Oh man, dude, that game is fun.
It is.
Yeah.
But no, I feel you on that.
No. Well, I feel like that,
Yeah.
unfortunately, is like a good synopsis of the games coming out. Because so many of them, like, I feel like lately, especially with this last E3, it's like, here's a bunch of trailers. Who knows when they're coming out? They don't even put 2022. They're like,
Soon.
good luck.
Dude, there's like if you go and look at the list right now, or at least this one that I'm looking at on IGN, I would say over 80% of them have TBA
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're games that should have came out in the last year, but they're pushing them back and they don't have a date for them yet,
Game.
and it's just like that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
It
it does
does.
suck. And that's kind of been. I am excited for the new Life is Strange. Oh, I
Mhm.
guess they did push back Gotham Knights to 2022. I just looked up games
they?
coming out soon. Deathloop, is it actually coming out this year? I thought it got pushed back.
I heard it got pushed back, but it still says
Yeah,
2021.
I think it did.
Let's see.
Maybe
Okay.
they talked about it. Who knows?
Yeah.
We
'Cause-
had a
So
conversation.
that-
We're like, yeah, you know what? If it's
Sure.
buggy, unfinished, who gives a fuck? Just put it out.
right.
People just want shit. I don't.
So, I
Far
don't-
Cry 6 comes out in October,
Mm.
which I haven't played a Far Cry game in a while.
I haven't
But that
either.
one, apparently people are real hyped about that one.
I feel like they say that each time they're like, yes, this is the best Far Cry.
Right.
And then it comes out and everyone just goes back to like Far Cry 3.
Yeah, because Far Cry 3 was like, that was the first one I played.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this game's incredible. Like, are all these games like that? And then I played like other ones and I was like, oh, they're not. Except for, what's that? Oh, it was the one that came out not too long after Far Cry 3, but it was like, is it Blood Dragon?
That one's, I think that one's pretty good.
Yeah, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
Dude, that is like a non-stop 80s just like kick-ass like movie. Like, because it's just, there's a constant just like 80s soundtrack to it the whole time. Yeah, and vibe. Like, it's just lasers and like neo wave pop colors and like there's a fucking dinosaur in there at one point. You get a T-Rex that you can ride. Like towards the end of it.
Seriously?
And he has laser beam and rocket launchers and shit off of him too. And I was like, what is this game? Like, it makes no sense.
Game's just like, whatever, man. Dude. I'm here to have a good time.
Metroid.
It was. I played through it in one night and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
The new Metroid game?
New Metroid game.
Oh, yeah.
Metroid Dread comes out October 8th. Solar Ash, the from the studio that made Hyper Life Drifter, which you really liked, is coming out. Mm-hmm. I went and tried to look at all the Elden Rings coming out in January. Pokemon's coming out. Pokemon Legends Arceus. I don't even feel like talking about Pokemon's Diamond and Pearl because I'm going to play them. Like, there's just those games. Pokemon game coming out, I'm gonna play it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I went and bought a new full micro SD for my Switch so I could have room for them when they come out.
Right?
I'm gonna buy them. I'm gonna get them. Super Monkey Ball.
Yes.
Banana Mania. When was the last Super Monkey Ball that came out? Was that was like early 2000s, wasn't it?
I think it was on the GameCube. I don't think anything came out afterwards.
Starfield is supposed to come out November 11th of next year, and I am very excited to see more on that game, which is from Bethesda. It's their first new IP in forever. They don't have a lot out about it, but Starfield just sounds like a cool name, so like, you got me sold.
Yeah,
it's like a Bethesda's like space game, maybe. Is that what they're?
I think so.
Or is it like a? Okay.
There's been like nothing announced on it except the title.
It's an archaeology
what
game.
If that's the? What if that's the new Elder Scrolls game?
There we go. Elder Scrolls Starfield.
Starfield.
They're finally releasing Ghostwire Tokyo. I never thought that game was gonna come out. Finally releasing it early 2022. It's apparently only going to be time exclusive on the PS5. Oh, and PC. That game, when they unveiled the trailer for it, I think in 2018, I was pumped. I've been waiting for this game for like ever. So the fact that it's actually coming out, it's probably not going to be great. I don't care. I'm going to make Nicholas play it while I cover my eyes. And I'm so...
Is the game too?
We don't have to do that way.
Well, that's how I like playing it.
Why don't I close my eyes while you play it?
Well, because I can't do it. Oh, apparently they're coming out with the Lord of the Rings Golem game.
I don't know.
I saw that. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Do you play as Gollum?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know how about that either.
Open Roads, I'm excited about. I'm just curious to see how this game of the year, because I feel like the one game, and we just haven't played it yet, but it's on our list, that everyone's like, yeah, that's game of the year, is It Takes Two.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually played that game.
Did you like it?
I'm playing it with a friend. That game is incredible.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a co-op game. Like play it with somebody else. Like don't just play it by yourself. But the story's good, but just the game in general is just
solid.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
It's just solid, and it's like 16 different genres of games thrown into one. Like,
that's super fun.
There's like it's puzzler, platformer, first person shooter, art. There's like an RPG kind of thing where you have like powers. One's a wizard and one's not. Like, it's like, dude, they just threw everything at this game and made it good.
I love that.
And then they have these like little side PvP games. Like, you basically just play against the other person.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, those are super fun. Like, there was one where you had to ride a bull for the longest, and it just gets faster and faster and faster. And then you have to control your character and make sure they stay on there. Yeah,
I'll tell you,
dude, it was super fun.
I'll tell you why we haven't played it.
Why is that?
We bought it on the Xbox One,
Oh yeah.
and now our Xbox One won't turn on.
Oh no.
So it's been fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I guess we need new consoles, but they're not in stock anywhere.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy how that's not. It's been how many months since they released, and we still can't. People still can't buy them.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
'cause they're
can
like-
buy them. You just have to spend.
Like $2,000. We went over
yeah,
this.
it's been 5 times as much as what they're actually worth.
Exactly.
Go win the lottery and then get yourself a new console.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
One more.
Yeah.
I want
Okay,
to talk
well,
about one more.
let's hear it. I'm excited.
The Aliens.
Oh yeah.
The new Aliens game.
What?
That one, I'm kind of
Mhm.
excited to play about that one.
Is it like
It's like Alien Isolation, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's a 4-person co-op. Like I guess kind of horde mode style game.
Oh wait, no.
Like
maybe I don't know what this is.
Yeah, it's Aliens Fireteam Elite. I think it already came out. It came out on the 24th. Yeah, it already came out. But I really want to play it.
I'm gonna look it up because like
Is it
Okay.
only?
Yeah.
It's not like exclusive to anything, is it?
No, I don't think so.
let's see. No, it looks like it is on everything, even the older consoles.
Ooh.
Is a
Yeah.
third-person shooter game in collaboration with Disney's 20th Century Games. Standalone sequel to the original Alien trilogy. Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm kind of I want to play that one for sure.
Yeah. Well, now we have another game to
Put it on the list.
put it on the list again with all.
Ooh, so spooky.
I know. I love the website because you have to enter your birthday to be able to access it, and it just has like
Yeah,
this
you know it's-
flashlight. Yeah.
You know it's gonna be a good one when you up it in your birthday.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Did I put in 2006? I'm like, that's old enough, and then I realized it wasn't.
Okay. Well, now I'm like, I'm excited, especially since it's co-op. That makes it a little bit better for
Mhm.
me.
Yeah, it's less spooky.
Yeah, it's less spooky when I
Yeah.
have other people. Well, I say that, and I still like the Dark Picture Trilogy games. I'm always like, you gotta take over.
I'm like, no, this is your life to live.
You started it. You gotta finish it.
Oh my god! I found
That's
the
funny.
Games Radar, and I've been going through all of their games, and I
Uh-huh.
forgot
Mhm.
how many games are coming out. They just are all to be announced, like to be dated.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what Justin was saying.
Like, because they announced Metroid Prime 4 in like 2019, and I thought that's what this Metroid Dread game that was coming out was going to be, but it's not. It's a different title.
Yeah,
And Metroid Prime 4 is still like, who knows when it's gonna come out?
when it comes out,
When
man.
it comes out, man. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 probably isn't coming out anytime soon.
They've got some culture issues to figure out.
Yeah, they need to. I think they need to focus on some other things for a little while first.
Yeah.
That was like towards the bottom of the list of this one, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Well,
There's a lot of indie games that I had on mine, and they're all TBA, and I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
I
No.
know.
anytime soon. I think we're just gonna have to
Yeah,
make do with a bunch of games releasing sort of DLC
Yeah,
and call it good.
Yeah. Mhm.
I mean, at least
At
we
least
got
until next year sometime.
yeah, we got the new season of Destiny. I'm excited to see where it goes. We'll get into this because next week we're talking about Destiny, and we're gonna have DustlessPath again. So you get a double treat of this man. But I do want to talk about how they like kind of ruined the twist to Witch Queen already.
For the
Oh,
season.
Yeah. Because like
Yeah.
we know she's gonna be evil with the next, because they unveiled that trailer as much as they did this one, and I was like, why did you do that? I feel like that guy.
I think it like they did that, and then it's like because you guys actually haven't played yet, right?
We've
We
played
did,
the-
we played last
We just
night.
finished
Yeah.
the
The
first
first
couple
Okay,
missions,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so you saw that whole little cutscene with Marsov and all that kind of stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
And the little the new event, the 6-player whatever.
Yeah.
They do like the conversations while you're playing or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, in one of those conversations, Mara's like I know she's gonna betray us, but I kind of basically she's saying I know she's gonna betray us, but like I want to play this out.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Huh,
Yeah.
all right, well,
So it's yeah. So we'll see what happens.
The
And
game-
this is an extended season, so it's gonna be like,
Yeah.
'cause, you know, it's
6
you got till
months.
February.
Have they
Yeah, it's a
adjusted
long
the
season.
Does it feel like well, we can talk about this next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about this next week. I can't wait till we get into it because he's already told me that he has good and bad opinions, and I can't wait to hear them all. So if you
Whoa.
are excited to hear those opinions, join us next week. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.